As you can see, some of the greatest artists of the country are participating in this festival. And this has been a tradition of Bhartiyavidyabhawan in the previous years as well. And we bring you now a recording from one of the past programs that were done under the aegis of Bhartiyavidyabhawan.
I started playing when I was a boy of 7, first concert, and still by God's grace I'm playing. So I've been coming since then. So it's really very happy that Bhartiya is organizing this wonderful festival, and I understand this is the fourth or fifth year of this festival.
Today, as our chief guest, Shri Kapilsibbal ji, the Minister for Communication and Information Technology. We welcome him here on this occasion. We are also privileged to have with us Secretary Department Posts, Government of India, Ms. P. Gopinath. We welcome her as well. As I mentioned to you earlier, it was 75 years ago on this day that the Bhartiyavidyabhawan was established. This is known as the Foundation Day of the Bhavan. On the occasion of the 75th Foundation Day of the Bhartiyavidyabhawan, a very special postage stamp will be released. I will request our chief guest, Shri Kapilsibbal ji, and Secretary Posts, Ms. P. Gopinath, to do us the honors from stage here. If you're wondering what's happening on the stage, I'd just like to mention that the next program is a dance performance by Gurus Raja and Radha Reddy and their group, and that has the musicians accompanying them live from the pit here. Hence, they were trying to remove the pieces of the stage that cover the pit. I shall request our honored guests to please come up onto the stage from this side to release the stamp and to address this distinguished gathering. in a few moments from now as we sort of deal with this little enthusiasm. I've dealt with many circumstances in my capacity as a compere and anchor, but this is the first time the stage has disappeared in front of me. Well, I don't know what to say. I think we may be able to avoid the whole problem if we were to move a little close to the lamp, maybe. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been reassured that the stage will be ready in a minute, and I thought I would take this opportunity to inform those of you who've just joined us that the 3-day Bhartiyavidyabhawan Sangeet Samaroh is now in its 5th year, which is quite a coincidence of 5s because it's the 5th year of the Samaroh, but the 75th year of the Bhawan and 125th year of its founder's birth anniversary. That makes it truly special. Today we celebrate the Foundation Day with the release of the stamp on the Bhartiyavidyabhawan, a rare honor indeed for any institution. And tomorrow we will have the sammans presented. Every year the Bhartiyavidyabhawan has the Shikhar Samman as part of its ceremonial segment. But this year we have 2 sammans. We have a special samman to mark the 75th year as well. In the past, some of those who have received the Bhawan Sangeet Shikhar Samman have included the late Ustad Zia Fariddin Dagar, the great Drupada exponent, to whose memory we have dedicated today's concert. Other exponents have included Sri T.N. Krishnan, violin maestro, Pandit Birju Maharaj, the famous Kathak guru who really needs no introduction, and Dr. M. Balamurli Krishnan, the eminent Carnatic vocalist. May I now invite our dignitaries to please come onto the stage as we lift the curtain. I invite particularly onto the stage our chief guest, Shri Kapilsibbal Ji, Minister of Communications and Information Technology, Government of India, Ms. P. Gopinath, Secretary, Department Posts, Government of India, Shri H.N. Dastur, the Executive Secretary and Director General, Bhartiyavidyabhawan, Mumbai, our Chairman of the Bhartiyavidyabhavan's Delhi Kendra, Shri C.R. Gare Khan, and Mr. Ashok Pradhan, Director, Bhartiyavidyabhavan, Delhi Kendra. We would like to commence with a formal welcome with flowers to our distinguished guests. We'd like to present the first bouquet of flowers to Shri Kapilsibbal Ji, Minister of Communications. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Flowers also for Ms. P. Gopinath, Secretary, Department Posts, Government of India, and flowers to welcome the Executive Secretary and Director General of Bhartiyavidyabhavan, Mumbai, Mr. Dastur. May I invite the Chairman of Bhartiyavidyabhavan's Delhi Kendra, Shri Chinmay Gare Khan, to deliver the welcome address. Sir.
Honorable Minister, Secretary, Department of Post and Telegraphs, my distinguished colleagues from the Bhawan, ladies and gentlemen, we in the Bhawan are very honored, firstly, that the Government of India and the Minister in charge in particular, Communications, Shri Kapilsibbal, agreed to honor the Bhartiyavidyabhawan by issuing a special stamp on the occasion of the 75th founding of the Bhawan. This is a recognition of the dedicated and committed work which the Bhawan has been doing since it was founded in 1938 by Kulapati Munshiji. And since its founding 75 years ago, the Bhawan hasn't looked back in its effort to promote Indian culture, education, and civilization, not only within the country but also all over the world. We are doubly privileged to have the Minister with us this evening to do the honor in releasing the stamp in honor of the Bhartiyavidyabhawan. We are grateful to you, sir. We know how busy you genuinely are these days. And if I were to say that we wish you luck, I would probably be accused of being politically not correct. But I know that in spite of your various commitments, you have come here with us. It shows your support and encouragement to the Bhartiyavidyabhawan, and we are indeed very grateful to you. Thank you for coming, and we would now have that ceremony of release of the stamp in a few seconds. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Gare Khan. May I invite Mr. H.N. Dastur to address us on the occasion of the Bhavan's Foundation Day.
The Honorable Union Minister Shri Kapilsibbal, Shri Gopinath Ji, Shri Gare Khan, Shri Ashok Pradhan, sisters and brothers, on behalf of the Central Bhavan in Mumbai and the entire Bhartiyavidyabhavan's family worldwide, I convey to you our greetings and good wishes for coming on this auspicious occasion. We are indeed beholden to Government of India, to the concerned ministry and the Honorable Minister and the Postal Department for honoring Bhartiyavidyabhavan in its year of Platinum Jubilee. Actually, this is a year of twin celebrations, Platinum Jubilee of Bhavan and 125th birth anniversary of its founder, Dr. Kanhaiya Munshi. I particularly am grateful to Shri Sibbalji for being with us on this happy occasion. We are honored by his presence. On a personal note, I am an admirer of Sibbalji because he piloted the Right to Education Bill, for which every MP and everybody gets the credit, because right to education has opened the doors of quality education to those poor and deprived who did not have that privilege before. And Bhartiyavidyabhavan is perhaps the first organization to immediately accept the Right to Education Act, and we from the head office wrote to the principals of our over 90 schools all over India, that this act has to be implemented most sincerely. There were impediments, there were problems, there were hurdles, but hurdles are meant to be passed, problems are meant to be solved. But it has opened up the door, and in many places, in many towns in our country, including my Bombay, our principal and students went to the slum areas and persuaded the parents to send their wards to the school. I hope this experiment succeeds. Bhartiyavidyabhawan has 3 types of activities. One is cultural, and that includes its publications, its magazines, its Sanskrit and Sanskritic departments, its Sarvadharma Samabhav's research, and all that activities. Our main purpose, second is of course education. We have got management schools, engineering colleges, and all sorts of the entire educational spectrum is covered. These educational activities, most important point is that we are trying to inculcate the cultural and ethical values to our students. We have got a population of students of about 2 lakh, and every year a few thousand go out and few thousand come in. So we tell ourselves that even if we succeed in this, to 10% of the students' population, we will be giving enlightened and balanced citizens to the country. You see, it is not a tangible product to be seen, but that is what our major efforts are in the education. In various ways, we are trying to do that. And our third activity is social service activity, like running hospital for poor people, running a widow empowered center in Kochi, and then helping others. Then there is a mentally retarded children's school, etc., etc., etc. The Bhavan stands on 3 credos. One is Ano Badraha Kratavayantu Vishwataha, let noble thoughts come to us from all sides. Second is Sarva Dharma Samabhav, equal love and respect for all religions. And third is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family. Our founder used to say that everybody and everything is connected. Our scriptures say everything is Brahmamaya, even the objects, even the movable or immovable objects in the human beings. Only one God pervades all over them. This is the basic credo of Bhartiyavidyabhawan. Bhavan believes that the walls created between man and man in the name of language, in the name of region, in the name of caste and creed and religion and even nationality and so-called nationalism are to be broken. Actually, they are not walls, they are not iron curtains. They are the manifestations of the diversity of our cultural and spiritual heritage. This diversity is what nature wants. This diversity of so many languages, so many literature, so many performing arts, Kathakali in south and Kathak in the north, and Kuchipudi, which we will see today, and Carnatic music, and the Indian classical music, and folk dances from Meghalaya to Bhangra of Punjab or Lavani of Maharashtra. All these varieties and all these diversities are the base of our culture, base of our national unity. I always believe that our greatest strength of our democracy is this diversity. Because this diversity will give us the unity, this diversity will give us the harmony. Even God wants the diversity. Imagine only one flower, howsoever beautiful, is there and no other flowers are there. Or imagine, look at God. God, the greatest of great artists, billions of people have passed through the portals of this world, and God's canvas is only this much, a face. But have you seen any persons with, except the twins, have you seen the face of similar face? No. Because suppose everybody was with the similar face. Therefore, this diversity of our culture is the base. That's what Bhartiyavidyabhawan believes, and that's what it tries to generate in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dastur. I now request our chief guest and Mr. Dastur to jointly release the postage stamp, please. May I request our chief guest, Mr. Kapilsibbal. I understand that copies of this special stamp are available, so maybe as a token, you could look at picking them up. In any case, I certainly hope that all of you have picked up your souvenir that has been released, Swarabharati, which is on the theme of the Natya Shastra. It was released yesterday. I think at the counter outside you will still be able to collect some copies. May I now invite our chief guest, Minister Kapilsibbal, to please address this gathering which has been waiting eagerly to hear you speak, sir.
दस्तूर साहब, गारे खान साहब, Secretary Padmani Gopinath, Ashok Pradhan ji, members of the Bhartiyavidyabhawan family, distinguished guests. The Ministry of Communications and IT and the Department of Posts has this great privilege of honoring institutions that have done yeoman's service for India. And it gives me great pleasure today to participate in the release of the stamp that we have just done in honor of an institution that, if you look back, if there are a few institutions that have served this country in the context of education, in the context of culture, and in context of service to the poor, I think Bhartiyavidyabhawan stands out as a star in this great journey. So it is, in fact, our privilege to be able to do this today, to be able to release this stamp today. Education, I think, is at the heart of any nation that hopes to participate and be at the head of the global community in the years to come. And Dastur Sahab talked about the Right to Education Act. I will share with you a couple of thoughts as to why I consider, and there was enormous opposition to it at the time when I thought of introducing it. But I thought that unless I introduce this act and unless we integrated education in a manner that everybody of whatever hue and color actually sit in the same classroom, children will not be able to recognize and children will appreciate the diversity that exists in the world. But more important than that is the fact that if we look at education, and I'm talking about 2009, and I always say this, the difference between the developed world and the developing world is not that the US has a $14 trillion economy, or that India has a $1.8 trillion economy, or that China has a $6 trillion economy. The difference is the number of children who go into higher education. Why is that? It's that because I believe that wealth is created at the level of the university. Wealth is not created by industry, wealth is not created by individuals. Wealth resides in bank accounts, but the real wealth of a nation depends on how many children actually go to university. And if you look at the developed world, the difference between the developed world and the developing world is that the gross enrollment ratio, which is the number of children within the age group of 18 to 24 who go to university, in the developed world is not less than 40. Out of every 100 children in that age group, not less than 40 go to university. And in some countries, it's up to 70. But in India in 2009, it was 12.8. That's the difference. And the reason is that the more children go to university, the more there are chances of creating intellectual property, because all ideas ultimately fructify into goods and services, because industry comes to university, sees the new ideas and innovation that is developed in the university system, and then takes those ideas and then puts them into pilot projects, and then transform them into goods and services, then sets up factories and sells those goods and services to the rest of the world. So the genesis of wealth is university, education in the university. Now, if we have only out of 100 children, 87 not going to university, India cannot be a wealthy nation. So it was important for me to improve the gross enrollment ratio, and the only way we could do it is to ensure that everybody goes to school. And therefore the right to education, which is now only till class 8, I believe in the 12th plan period or immediately thereafter should be extended to class 12. Every child in India must have the right to free education in this country. Well, let me tell you what has happened. I made a commitment to the nation that by 2020 my gross enrollment ratio will move up from 12.4 to 30%. And I have to share this with you that today, 4 years later, it is up to 19.8%. If I can get it up to 30% by 2020, we're well on the way. It is in that context that I brought about several education reforms, quality in education, because unless it's all very well to send children to school, but we must ensure quality. So I set up several legislations, but unfortunately they could not be passed. But I'm really glad to hear that Bhartiyavidyabhawan was at the forefront of embracing the Right to Education Act and has supported us throughout these years. And thank you very much for that. The other aspect that I want to touch upon is culture. We are in a globalized world, and what we are witnessing is the globalization of culture. And once this globalization takes place, our Indian values and Indian Sanskriti and Indian way of life will be submerged in this globalized world. And once that is submerged, we will really lose the wealth of our nation. So we need institutions like the Bhartiyavidyabhawan to preserve our culture, to ensure that our values and our Sanskriti are at the heart of the education system. And I am absolutely delighted and honored that Bhartiyavidyabhawan has done human service in actually preserving, not just preserving, but proselytizing what India believes in, our traditions and the values that we hold. Unfortunately, in the world of today, children are accessing and children are absorbing not the values that we have grown up with, but the values that they think that will make them a commercial success in the years to come. And I think that's a trend that we need to deal with while we accept the fact that we must embrace the world. But we must embrace the world by looking at it through our own eyes, not through somebody else's eyes, which is what we are trying to do. And I'm sure that Bhartiyavidyabhawan will ensure in the institutions that it is running and through the message that it sends through its organization that this is the way that India will enrich itself while we will become modern, while we will compete with the rest of the world, but our values must be truly Indian, especially values of the family, values of togetherness. And the last thing that Dastur Sahab pointed out was diversity. And as I stand here today, I think of our Mars mission as it is going out and trying to discover And this is what diversity is all about. We are constantly in a journey of discovery. And this must be part of every human being's mission as he grows up in life. And that's what children must do. Children must be allowed to discover themselves. Each child is a satellite. And it's a satellite, he or she is a satellite that launches himself or herself into an orbit of discovery, like what's happening when we are trying to discover Mars. And that child must try and discover herself or himself in her own way. We should not be regulating that child because the mind has no boundaries. We should not be regulating the child by disciplines. And that's what, look at nature. Nature has no discipline. It is diverse and yet it is unified. It is imperfect and yet it is perfect. And it constantly supports each other. And that's what lives are all about, supporting each other, looking at that unity in that diversity and appreciating the diversity that Dastur Sahib you talked about. And that's exactly what we must do as we as children go on to the journey of discovery of their lives, their culture, their own traditions, appreciation of somebody else, which we are losing out today. We have dialogues in this country today which do not in fact even attempt to appreciate what is happening around. There's a lot of wonderful things that are happening around in this country. Great people, great stories. India is surging ahead, but all we talk about is, all we do is criticize. We self-flagellate ourselves as if we are our own enemies and our worst enemies. And in that process, we are destroying the future of India and the future of our future generations. I am absolutely delighted to be here. It's given me great joy to celebrate the 125th anniversary of Munshiji and the 75th anniversary of your foundation day by releasing this stamp. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sibbal. We appreciated how, in this detailed manner, you were able to recount how the Bhartiyavidyabhawan is contributing to the India story and has been contributing for the last 75 years. Thank you very much. We will now move to the third part of this evening's program, which is the dance recital, for which you saw half the stage disappearing earlier. I will thank you for being with us on stage and request you to take your positions in the auditorium. So now we have this chance of carrying a little memorabilia of this very special occasion, and an occasion marked with the sweetness of music and dance. I understand, as Mr. Pradhan just mentioned, whispered in my ear, that we have Ms. Devika Kumar to thank for the fact that we have this stamp. So thank you ever so much for making this possible, because sometimes milestone movements come and they go, and then there's no little memory that remains, but today we have a memory that will remain. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the third part of this evening's program, which is a Kuchipudi recital by the world-renowned duo, Doctors Raja and Radha Reddy, recipients of the Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, and the Central Sangeet Natak Academy Award, and their group. It will be presented to live music, and the pit is where our musicians will be sitting and performing. It is not very often that one gets to see an elaborate performance like this with a special position for the musicians, so I request you to bear with us as we prepare the stage for this kind of presentation. May I take a moment right now to introduce to you the very famous dancing duo based in Delhi and presenting the form that was referred to earlier, Kuchipudi, the classical dance from Andhra Pradesh. I don't know what is the politically correct term for that now. What is truly remarkable about Drs. Raja and Radha Reddy is that one of the most defining images of India is that of the Ardhanarishwar, the half man, half woman. They say that one person contains both, but sometimes two people becomes one, as you will see when they dance together, how they are complementing and supplementing and completing each other. They changed in a way the style of presenting this dance form of the medieval times, which has a long history of a theatrical presentation. But in Delhi they were able to change some of the patterns without compromising on the sincerity and essential training in Kuchipudi by their teachers Sri Vedantam Prahlad Sharma and PVG Krishna Sharma. Today, as gurus, they continue to transfer their traditional knowledge, which is the essential building block on which future and more contemporary work can be built, at their center, Natya Tarangani in New Delhi. They have a large number of students, all of whom are very accomplished and adept at dancing this fascinating and charming style. The minister spoke about globalization and its negativeness, but I think the lives of Raja and Radha Reddy, in a way, afford an example of how you can have a positive Indian effect in globalization too. For recently, they were invited to declare open the Playhouse Theatre in Durban, South Africa, for the general public with their inaugural Kuchipudi performance. They have been traveling widely internationally, presenting their concerts in significant countries and centers of dance in the world. Today they're going to present an ensemble creation, a ballet. And to talk about that ballet, I will be inviting onto the stage Guru Raja Reddy. Normally when we refer to Guru Raja Reddy, it's always Gurus Raja and Radha Reddy, but because Radha ji is dancing in the production and is in costume, I'm going to invite onto the stage Guru Raja Reddy to come and speak about this presentation himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Guru Raja Reddy. I think I forgot to prepare you for the fact that Guru Raja Reddy is in costume himself too. So ladies and gentlemen, normally one doesn't have a preview of the artist before, but here he is, Guru Raja Reddy.
Can I take out this?
सहृदयों को प्रणाम. Good evening, friends. On behalf of Bhartiya Vidyabhawan, we are immensely happy to be with you in presenting Bharata Bharati. That was the demand from Mr. Ashok Pradhan, that it's a platinum jubilee celebration, Rajaji. You have to present something with the name of Bharata. So we have decided to present this Bharata Bharati, the glory of our Bharat. As you know, Bharat is an incredible country, dynamic, vibrant, colorful. A mosaic of faiths, cultures, customs, languages that blend so harmoniously to form a composite whole. Bharat is one of the very oldest living civilization country which gave to the world its Vedas, Puranas, timeless classics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, and above all, its dance, classical dance particularly. Because of this, Bharat is known as Prachi Sudha. And Bharat is one of the very few nations whose present is not delinked with its past or its roots. This vast country is rooted in its glorious traditions of dances. The classical dance styles particularly, they provide a very distinguishing experience of Bharat, which was, is, and will be. The Natyam, Bharatiya Natyam, is unique in the world. It's a combination of Tandavalase elements. Lord Shiva, he divided his body into two, right side as male, left side as female. Purusha, Prakriti. Shiva, Parvati. Tandava, Lasyam. That was the origin of our dance style. And this dance is a combination of four Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda. Pathyam from Rig Veda, Sangeetam from Sama Veda, Abhinayam from Yajur Veda, and Rasam, sentiment from Atharvana Veda. Combine this, the essence came out as Natya Vedam. This is the origin, and on base of this Natya Vedam, our classical dance styles have flourished in all over India with different names, with different regional influences. That is the greatness of our Bharatiya Natyam. This Natyam provides a unified forum for the universal enlightenment. Binna rucher janasya bahudhapi ekam samaradhanam natyam. Vishwashanti sandesha pathyam natyam. This natyam gives the sandesham, message for peace, tranquility. Prapancha chitra pata pratama chitram natyam. And our Bharatiya Natyam is on the top of the cultural map of the world. It is known as Prachi Sudha. So kindly see, Bharata Bharati or Prachi Sudha. Participating in this presentation, myself, Radha Reddy, and my elder daughter Yamini Reddy, who has flown from Hyderabad for this presentation. Then Shloka Vaidilingam, a lawyer from Supreme Court. Then Jayasri, who has flown from Singapore. She is the daughter of Shivakamka, to participate in this program yesterday. Others, Adya Gupta, Yashaswini Jindal, Sneha, Shruti, Bhumika, and Vidushi, Mahesh, and Abdul. And now Kaushalya Reddy will introduce the musicians who are helping in this presentation. This presentation has been choreographed by me, Radha, and Kaushalya, and music has been composed by Sudha Raghuraman. Kindly see, Bharata Bharati.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा जननी नमस्ते